Welcome to Animated Maths for All series. This is Series 6. Learn, grow, and excel with us. In this video, we're exploring the fascinating world of cubes and their cube roots. Let's start by dismantling a 7x7 solid cube to discover what makes up its base area. As we can see, the base of the cube is composed of a 7x7 square. Observe that one side of the square is made up of 7 small cubes. Remember that to calculate the volume of a cube, we multiply the side length by itself 3 times. One side of the square is made of 7 small cubes. If we multiply 7 times 7 times 7, we find the volume of the cube we just dismantled. The number 7 is called the cube root of the volume, 7 times 7 times 7. Therefore, if we can determine the cube root of a cube's volume, we find its side length. Now, let's watch an animation of another cube being dismantled to determine its side length. Here is a 4x4x4 cube being dismantled into 64 individual small blocks. Since 4 times 4 times 4 equals 64 units, 64 is the volume, and 4 is the side. Thus, the cube root of 64 is the side of the cube. This confirms that 2 is the cube root of 8, 3 is the cube root of 27, and 4 is the cube root of 64. In practice, to express the cube root of a number like 8, we write it as the cube root of 8 equals 2. Let us recall some prime factorization now. First, use prime factorization. 216 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Let's group the factors into triplets, 2 times 2 times 2, and 3 times 3 times 3. Select one from each triplet, 2 and 3. The calculation is 2 times 3 equals 6. The cube root of 216 is 6. Next, let's find the cube root of 8,000. The prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 2, and 5 times 5 times 5. Grouping into triplets gives us 3 sets. Selecting one number from each triplet gives us 2, 2, and 5. The calculation is 2 times 2 times 5 equals 20. The cube root of 8,000 is 20. Here is a table summarizing some numbers and their cube roots, from 64 to 1,000. If you are able to find the cube and cube root of a number by prime factorization without a mistake, I can call you the cube master. Hope you now understood the method clearly to find the cube root. Go to the next room for some practical application of it. Thank you, Miss James, for this interesting class. Dear students, you have now learned to find the volume of the cubical tank using the difference in water level. Do you think we can find the length of this tank using the volume? How do we do that? You get 8,000 multiplying some number by itself 3 times, right? You mean cube root? That number is the side? Exactly. It's 20. Now let us apply the formula for that. Formula makes calculations simpler. Since the volume of a cube is V equals S times S times S, the formula to find the side length is the cube root of the volume. Step by step. First, identify the volume. Second, calculate the cube root. Third, check your units. If volume is in cubic centimeters, the length is in centimeters. The first example we will work through is 125 times 1,000. Try to find the cube root for this one. Volume of our cuboidal tank is 8,000 cubic centimeters. Find the cube root using your calculator. How do we do that? Take out your calculator and discuss with your friends how to use the calculator. The slide transitions to a new scene with a similar question to the previous one. How to use the calculator for finding the volume. Now, learn how to use the calculator. The next slide shows an example of using the calculator to find the cube root of a number. When the volume is 8,000 cubic centimeters, the side is 20 centimeters. We can also say, when the capacity is 8 liters, the side of the tank is 20 centimeters. Yes, exactly. You have fully understood the method of finding the side of a cube if you know the volume of it. Let us meet in another interesting session soon. Thank you, Miss Julie. It was an interesting project. See you soon.
Thank you for watching Animated Maths for All. See you in another interesting session.